So if you are interested in creating and launching an online course, then this is for you. So stay with me, tune in, free yourself from distractions. I am sharing today 6 essentials that you need to have in your business before you create an online yoga course. What do you need to have in your business before you create an online yoga course? And whilst you're thinking of that, I want to really just start with this. The world is still going crazy for online learning, for online education. So this is not just a pandemic thing or a trend that has kind of come and gone. So if you're telling yourself that people only wanted to work online because of the pandemic, that's simply not true. Okay, the online education space is just getting started, really. And of course it's had a helping hand and a boost over the last couple of years, but as an industry it's booming. Okay, it's actually almost a $400 million industry. Okay, it's expected to triple in the next 5 years. Okay, by 2028, it's actually projected to be worth $1 trillion. Okay, as an industry. So this space isn't going away. And for you guys as yoga teachers, you have an opportunity to have a little piece of the pie. And quite often I hear teachers say to me, why is someone going to take my course, my yoga course, when they can just go onto YouTube and they can get everything that they need there? You can find everything on YouTube, right? You can find everything and anything that you want online. The content is different to what you find in an online course, okay? Because there's real value in how you as a course creator present your content and how you order it into a step-by-step framework that leads and guides your students to a transformation that they're looking for, that they desire. So your online course, makes it incredibly easy for your students to be able to access that knowledge and get the support and accountability that they need to go from point A, which is the place they are now, where they don't want to be, to point B, which is the results and the desires and the outcomes that they're looking for. That's what an online course is all about. So this is not going away. Okay, this space is, as I said, only really just getting started. And there's a few things, if you are looking to create an online course in your business in the future, there's actually a few essentials. There's 6 essentials that I'm sharing today, but these are things that you need to have in place before you go about actually creating and launching your course. And what is not essential, okay, so what's not essential, this might be something that you believe, is needing to have a massive following on Instagram before you can launch your course. Okay, so many teachers think, oh, I have to have this huge following. It's okay for those teachers when they've got, tens of thousands of followers, they can launch a course, but I couldn't possibly do that because I only have a few hundred. You do not need to have a massive following on Instagram before you go ahead and launch a course. And you also don't need to be a complete master in the topic, okay? You don't need to be this world's #1 expert in the topic before you can actually create it. Talk more about that in a moment. Another thing that you might think you need to do, which you don't, is having completely created your course before you actually launch it. Okay, so you don't actually have to have actually created the course before you launch it. But there are some things that are essential. Okay, so let's dive in. So number 1, the first essential is decide on a niche. Okay, so Nicola, you're right. Decide on a niche, because it's not about finding or searching for a niche. It's about deciding, isn't it? It's about making the decision who you want to serve. And to succeed online in 2022 and beyond, it is essential that you make a decision on who you're here to serve. on who you are here to serve. Like, this is the only way that you will know the problem that you solve. And business is about solving problems, and your online course is about solving a problem and providing a transformation. That's why someone's going to enroll in your course. Okay, so this isn't the yoga classes that you find on YouTube, as I said before. You know, this is about guiding your students to a desired outcome. Okay, and in order to know what that is, you need to decide on a niche, okay, so that you can understand everything that you need to know about your ideal students. And, you know, if you don't know this, if you don't know the answers to that, your marketing isn't going to work. Okay, your marketing isn't going to work. What happens when your marketing doesn't work? You don't make any sales, right? You don't have a business because you don't make any sales. You don't make any money. So staying general is no longer an option, okay? Staying general is no longer an option. If you want to succeed online in 2022, you must decide on a niche, okay? So that's essential number one. Essential number two is an engaged community, okay? So you remember, I mentioned already that you don't have to have a massive following, okay? But you do need to have some engaged members in your community, okay? So there's a difference between having a large audience and an engaged audience. And, you know, you can definitely make sales with a small but engaged audience. Okay, so that's key. They must be engaged. And what's important is that, you know, your audience is on your email list. Okay, so high five to Nicola again. You got that one right again. You know, having an email list. So instead of focusing on building this, you know, large Instagram following, which is where we all kind of, you know, it's the bright lights of Instagram. We think that that's what we should be doing to market our business. Yes, you need to be there. You need to be visible on social media. However, your efforts really need to be on growing your email list and then nurturing those relationships by providing valuable content to the people on your email list and building trust and building engagement. Those people are going to come and follow you on Instagram where you're being visible. And so, you know, Instagram, social media, of course it matters. Like, you need to be consistent with being visible and with producing, you know, high quality, valuable content. Anything that you can do with your content to provide value is going to help you to engage your audience. Okay, so, you know, having blog posts on your website, having a podcast, and of course your email. So this is going to help to drive that engagement with your community, which is essential. It's absolutely essential that you have engaged audience members before you jump straight into creating an online course. Okay, so make sure, like, if you know that you have a goal this year in 2022 to create and launch an online course, right now focus on how you can engage the people in your community. Okay, and start growing that community with the content, with being visible. You know, so many yoga teachers are trying to build businesses and they're not focusing on the content that they're creating and sharing. It's a non-negotiable part of your business, guys. If you're not doing that, you're not growing your business. Okay, so, you know, this is an essential before you have an online course, is to really work on engaging your community, okay, engaging your audience. Okay, so number three is having some expertise and knowledge in the topic, okay? So as I said before, this isn't about being the world's #1 expert in your topic. And actually, what's great about creating an online course is that you will learn more about your topic as you actually create it, okay? So you'll become even more of an expert as you're creating. And so you don't need to know every single thing there is before, you know, about your course topic before you go and create the course. You need to be passionate, yes, okay? You need to be passionate. And you need to have experience, okay? So likely you have personal experience. You need some results, okay? Whether that's been for yourself or for your students, okay? But you don't need to know every single thing about the topic and your niche. You just need to be a few steps ahead. That's it, really. And so, a really good approach here for this is to ask yourself, what did I wish I knew about this topic 5 years ago? Ask yourself that question. What do I wish I had known about the topic 5 years ago? Because chances are your community is exactly where you were 5 years ago. So, start there, but just know that you don't need to be the world's #1 expert. You just need to be some steps ahead. Number 4, okay, so we're on 4 of 6. Number 4 is to validate your course idea. Okay, so before you create your online course, you need to have validated your course idea. Why is that? Because spending your precious time and energy on, creating your course and then you don't get any sales from the course is super disappointing, right? It's super disappointing. It is also a reality, and it's very common. Many teachers, many course creators out there, people in business owners who decide that they want to create an online course, many of them create the course and then they put it out there and they don't get any sales. And usually the reason for this is because they haven't validated the course idea. Okay, so this is an essential that you do that before you go and put your heart and soul into creating all of the content. So what you do want to do is to ensure that there's some demand, and the validation process will help you to identify whether there's demand for this and to see if the people in your engaged community actually want and need this course, okay? And so by doing that, you'll be validating it as well. And there's a number of validation strategies that you can use. I'm not going to go into all of those today. They are strategies that I teach inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, but ultimately it's about research, right? It's about research, it's about conversations. Like there's an entire module inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program that covers finding the course idea, validating the course idea with all the strategies that we use, and then creating the outline, which actually leads me to number 5, okay? So number 5, this is the 5th essential that you need in place before you create your online course, and it's to create an outline for your course, okay? So this is actually crucial, right? This is crucial. Having a you creating a high quality, valuable online course is really about mapping out what's going inside that online course and mapping out the lessons and the content to ensure that you are leading your students towards the transformation and the results that your course promises. Okay, so that you can get them to the end, essentially. So there's actually a 5-step process, okay, for creating the outline for your online course. And again, we teach that inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. And this process, this 5-step process, it helps you to get all of the ideas out of your head. It helps you to streamline everything. It helps you to order your lessons and the content, and also to identify, what else needs to be included so that your students get to the finish line and so that you can really add value inside your course. So all of that is super important as well. We're not just kind of, writing down a few ideas and, then sitting in front of the camera and hoping that it's all just going to come out. We'll be able to create our course. There has to be structure and there has to be a process as part of the course course creation process. And it's important that you have that outline before you actually sit down in front of the camera. You know, you don't want to be just trying to suss it out and work it out as you go. You want to be super planned so that you know that what you're creating is going to get people to the outcome. Because as I said, you know, when we talked about essential number one, which is about niching, the reason that people are going to buy your online course is because they want the outcome. Okay, so that's why you need to have decided on a niche, so you understand the challenges that your ideal students are facing and the desired outcomes that they desire, the outcomes that they're looking for, the transformation and the journey that they're on. Okay, so number six, the sixth essential, and this is super important. Okay, number six is super important. So many teachers do not do this. Okay, and it's to have a launch strategy. So many teachers are they jump straight into creating and launching a course, right? And they don't have the knowledge around what a launch strategy actually looks like. So they end up, you know, sending an email to their list and, you know, or maybe a few emails, and then they post on Instagram a few times, maybe do a stories, and then they call that a launch. And then they wonder, you know, why the sales aren't coming in. Of course, you're not going to implement this. You're not going to implement the launch strategy before you actually create the course, but you should plan one out. Right? You should totally plan one out. And this strategy, just to give you an overview, it includes a pre-launch phase, okay? It includes a pre-launch phase, and it includes a launch phase. And that launch phase actually has three parts to it. And, you know, these phases, they're all about creating awareness, building hype, building excitement around what's coming, qualifying your community members as ideal students for your actual course. And, you know, each part needs to be carefully mapped out, and it needs to include the type of content and the messaging that you're sharing and how you're going to be talking about your course. And so this requires you to really sit down and, you know, formulate a launch strategy, because that's going to give you your content plan. That's going to give you, you know, the information that you need to actually go through that launch phase, those launch phases, and move your community along so that they seamlessly move into your online course, so that your online course feels like the next step for them. Okay, that essentially is the goal of your launch strategy. And so, you know, it's super important. It isn't just about sending a few emails and, you know, doing some posts on Instagram and calling it a day. That is not what it's about. There is a step-by-step process for a launch strategy like this. So super important that you know what it is, because you don't want to go through, as I said, put all of your time, energy, effort into creating this amazing course, which I know you will. I know you will put all of your time, energy, and effort into that. And I know that you will have decided on a niche, and you will have validated it, and you will have created your outline. You'll have done all of these things that you need to do, and you'll have an incredible course that you'll create to then open the doors to enrollment and not have a launch strategy in place. Okay. We're not doing that around here. So it's super important. So if you want to learn more about this, guys, come and join me at Profitable Launches Live. The price will be going up to $97 on the 1st of June. So make sure that you get your name on the list for Profitable Launches Live. If you haven't yet, come and join me and 3 of our incredible coaches from the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program. They will also be joining me. We will be hosting masterclasses over the 3-day period, and it's all about launching online courses in 2022 and beyond. So I'm super excited for this. We had over 2,000 teachers sign up for a very similar event last year. I'm expecting the same number. So come and join us, secure your seat before the price goes up. And if you have any questions whatsoever about any of this, online courses, or just really, you know, growing your business online, your yoga business online, please come to the Facebook group. All right, sending you all so much love. I will see you again live next week. In the meantime, go and get your name on Profitable Launches Live. Okay, lots of love. Bye. Take care now.